This is Sneaker Show. We talk sneakers because we love sneakers. And today we have a guest. His name is Trent. Trent is known for the store Exclusity, and he wrote a book. That's why we have him on today. We're going to ask him questions about his book. Thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. My name's Tim Stone. I really enjoyed the book. It's called How
Thank you.
Sneakers Saved My Life. It's available on Amazon. Trent, welcome here. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
So,
I'm
for
honored.
a little background, he's been
Mhm.
at it for forever. Trent founded Exclusity in 2006. It's a sneaker boutique in multiple locations now. He's an international model. He's managed musicians. He's an author. You're an entrepreneur, man. It's really
Pretty much.
inspirational.
Thank you.
We're chomping at the bit. We want to ask you a
Mhm.
million questions. Let me just mention that Nathan is also here, Nathan
Okay.
and Shay, and I'm going to pass it over to Nathan first. Go ahead.
Trent, happy to have you here, and
Happy to be here.
let's get right after it.
All right, let's
Um,
go.
you and Exclusity have always been synonymous with one another. We see it everywhere in the book, in social media, anywhere we see you. What is the Exclusity life, quote unquote, and how would you explain that to somebody that maybe isn't familiar?
That kind of tagline, that Exclusity Life, had actually just came up by accident, to be honest with you. So I founded Exclusity in 2006. At first, it wasn't even a sneaker boutique. We just, as you guys know, I wrote in the book, we started out selling long tees and do rags, driving down to New York, and coming back and selling them out the trunk of my car. And it was literally that Exclusity wasn't available, so I took Exclusity Life as our website. And so we just have we had that tagline, like, "Are you living that Exclusity life?" So it was really just kind of like a joke, but like it kind of stuck around. And on another interview, I was just talking. I think like when you go into an Exclusity location, you kind of feel me in there, like from the music, the vibe, the selection. I've had buyers, but I've always thought of myself as kind of like the head buyer. Everything that goes runs through me. So the Exclusity life is hip hop, it's fashion, it's music, it's culture. It's everything that we grew up around.
All right, I love that.
Mm.
I love it. Yeah, it's even better that it kind of came organically, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. Yeah.
probably why it works so well.
Yeah, exactly. Our logo was organic too. We were just making like our first shirt, and the guy's like, "Oh, do you have a logo?" I was like, "Well, no, dude. I was like in a basement of a tattoo parlor." He's like, "All right, I'll come up with something." I was like, "Our first logo was Exclusity and had these like buildings in it, and it said the city is ours." I don't know if you guys know of Exclusity at that time, but that was our first logo. Everything that's always been developed with Exclusity has always been organics, and then, as you guys know from reading the book, I didn't start out with a business plan. I didn't start out with a major goal. Selling clothes was a side hustle to my modeling career. And just to let everybody know, I'm not currently an international model. I was a model, but yeah, it was just supposed to be a side hustle, and then it turned into a national brand.
Nice. Well,
Mm.
I can't speak from experience, but I'm sure modeling's just like riding a bike, and I'm sure you could hop right back into
Yeah,
it
yeah,
at any
yeah, yeah.
point in time.
I've been doing some pictures again now that like we're doing press, and I have a publicist, and like, yeah, you gotta do some pictures. And I was like, yo, that's easy, man. I could just jump right back into it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. That goes hand in hand.
Mm.
So, through some hunting around I found that DJ Clark Kent hosted the opening of your Laval location in 2014. Having
Hmm.
stores in some absolute hotspots for lengthy periods of time, who is the most interesting person to come into the store that made you think, wow, I can't believe this person is in here?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Because being the predominant sneaker boutique in Montreal, especially Montreal, and one of the top one, top two in Toronto, we had a lot of celebrities come through, from like Russell Peters, Akon. I just want to shout out to also Gentry Humphrey, who's do you guys know who Gentry Humphrey is? I wanted to
Yes.
test you guys a little bit. Okay, good. I'm happy to be on this podcast now. So Gentry was our first like guest at Discount to open, to cut the ribbon for us and open that store. And that's why we're like, in Laval, we were like, who are we going to get to follow him up? And then we got DJ Clark Kent. But that's an elongated answer to say, for me personally, was Usher.
Oh,
Hmm.
I was like,
That's
Usher's
nuts.
in the store.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I was at the downtown Montreal location, and we heard he was on tour, and he was at one store, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna pass by. And like literally like 10 minutes later, as after I got the text that he was at one store, I see the limo roll up, and I was in the back helping somebody, and he came in and he was like, "Yo, where's Trent?" And I was like, so I had met him on tour when him and Kanye was on tour in Toronto like 5 or 6 years ago. And don't ask me why he remembered me, but he came in asking for Trent. So the whole staff was like, "Yo, Trent, you know Usher?" And I just kind of played it off. I'm like, "Yeah, Ursh," you know. No, that for me that was dope. You know, I bought him a pair of it was like foam posits, and he got a couple of kicks. He gave me his credit card. We sent them a couple of kicks for about like a year or so, and then we kind of just lost touch. So yeah, Usher for me, and also I'm a big R&B head, so it was good for me to meet somebody who's I wouldn't say he's an idol of mine, but he's definitely an icon. You know.
Right. So to counter off of that question, and from my own
Mm-hmm.
curiosity, so you said you met him when he was on tour with Kanye.
Yeah.
Was there any interaction with Kanye? Did you see him at all? Is there?
So actually, at an after party, there was that's when John Legend was like super super new, and Usher. I'm sorry, I think Kanye was opening for Usher,
Okay.
and Kanye was super new. And although I'm not throwing him under the bus, but I mean this was a long time ago. But he was like talking with girls in the club and do this whatever. And then John Legend was like, "Yo, like he just broke up with his girl. He's wilding right now." And John and I and my girl at the time were just sitting in the VIP lounge and we are just talking. And like John is a super super cool guy, but I never got to actually speak or say anything to Kanye because he was literally just like talking to every girl at the club. So I was like, it's Kanye, but he wasn't Kanye then. You know, he was just like, you know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe in his own mind he was Kanye
Oh,
then,
he
but
was.
yeah,
Oh, he was
yeah.
always, and we knew that he was going to be that Kanye, which is why I wanted to kind of like say what's up to him, whatever. But I knew Don C. I'm sure you guys knew Don C. So I had,
Yes,
I
absolutely.
had Don C's cell. We were supposed to do like a collab at one time. Remember when Don C had those snapbacks?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, the Mensiere
Oh,
snapbacks. So
fire.
like, so I got his number. Yeah, so I was kind of like in the cut. Like, if you're smart when you're around a celebrity, don't try to talk to them. You talk to the people around them. You know what I
Right.
mean? And get their contacts because Kanye is never going to answer your call anyways. Like Jay-Z said that he has 17 people before you get to Jay-Z.
I believe it. I
Yeah, for
believe it.
sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so all right. So
Okay.
here's the topic, and I think this is where I'm most interested, and
Okay.
I hope how it's articulated. I hope we're on the same page with this. So
Okay.
truly, there's a lot of blind hate online, and evidently with the book that's out and part two that's on the way, you're no stranger to opening up. What would
Mm.
you say to the people in the comments, groups, videos, etc., that are just trying to rip you to shreds or whatever every time a shoe comes out and they don't get it? Because
Yeah.
I see where they're, I get where they're coming from, but I think you have
Yeah.
to take that thought process a step further because it's like, oh, I didn't win the raffle. This had to go out the back door. But it's like, well, I didn't win the raffle. That doesn't mean like
Yeah.
we all didn't
Yeah.
win the raffle for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Like one person probably did. And I don't
Yeah.
think the thought process goes to that next step.
Yes.
I think it's just like, it's no different than when a rapper drops an album at, 10 o'clock out west here, right? Noon
Yeah.
or midnight Eastern, and then it's
Mm.
trash emoji, trash emoji, trash emoji. It's like,
Yes.
what, did you even listen to it yet?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
1,000%.
if this was your moment to kind of speak to that crowd and maybe
Mhm.
eliminate some of that stigma, what would you say?
Good question. I knew it was going to come also. So thanks for giving me the platform to address it. So if you go back kind of like pre-pandemic, when all the stores were open, like we would be the store to do lineups. Like I always hated raffles. We were actually the last store to do lineups. Like I think it was like March 15th, and like that's before like the lockdown came, and the police were like, "No, you guys can't line up." So anyway, so fast forward to when we closed down, every shoe was a friggin' raffle because the stores were closed, right? And then like putting it online and fighting bots, and everybody thinks that there's like these amazing bot protections out there. Like, dude, Nike is $1 billion company, and they are very adamant of saying we are working on a bot protection. If they're $1 billion company, like I understand we're a multi-million-dollar company, we can't do shit if Nike can't do shit.
Yes.
So that's it with the bots out there. Bot protection, bot. I literally called Shopify and I'm like, these guys know something I don't? Like, do you guys have some bot protection I don't know about? And there is things out there, but as you know, once one thing comes out, the next day there's something to fight it. So we do things to stop, botting it online or whatever. But to answer your question about The hate online. I used to like get on there and fight with people back, like, yo, we don't backdoor, yo, we try this, whatever. And then because it was during the pandemic, I had more time on my hands. I was watching other stores and watching other accounts and reading these comments, and I'm like, yo, every single store that has a release, they say they backdoor.
Yeah.
Every Foot Locker, Foot Action, Jumpman Door, Kith, Nike. We were just like, hold on a second. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they're not backdooring, but I'm saying I realize that it's just a reaction to their disappointment. And they're allowed to do that. Just like I'm allowed to turn off my comments on Exclusity when I do a post, and because if I don't want to see it for my own mental health and for my own peace, right? So I saw one store. It was so funny. I don't remember the release. That nobody in Canada got size 9. Okay, it was
Okay.
let's say for example, it's like a Jordan 1. Okay, and this happens all the time where like there could be one size that for some reason gets whatever, it's scrapped in China or whatever, and it doesn't make it. So Nike will just send us an email, be like, hey guys, you ordered X amount, nobody will have size 9. Sorry. Okay, cool. This store decided to say, hey, we have size 8 to 13, but we have no size 9. There was 30 comments underneath that said, yo, you guys are backdooring. And I was like, I know that they're not backdooring to size 9 because I know nobody in Canada has it, you know? So that is when I said, okay, I get it. It's literally just very passionate sneaker enthusiasts that want their shoes and they can't get it because of the new reality that we're in. And it's hard for people to just line up and get shoes. So I try to understand it. And I just wish that hopefully maybe after this, people understand from the store's point of view that, yo, we try our best, man. Lineups, you're going to complain. Raffles, you're going to complain. Bracelets, you're going to complain. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's definitely a topic where there's almost no right answer. So,
There's none.
yeah, and this is exactly what I want the people to hear, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for that. And
Thank you.
it's like Future said, if you don't got haters, you ain't popping, right?
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna throw it to Tim here. I know he's got some excellent questions as well.
Yeah, we've all got a bunch of questions, but I want to bring Shay in the mix here, bro. You go ahead. You start with what you've got.
I just wanted to ask, I know from looking at your Instagram and that kind of stuff, for the most part, you're suited up, promoting the book and whatnot. I just was curious as to what you've kind of been rocking lately, and what you were rocking back in the day when you had this store that Timmy's got up here.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. That other slide there.
Sorry. This is early days,
That
Exclusity.
that is the first Exclusity location in the basement of a tattoo parlor. So great question. I love when I get this question. I am the guy who tries to fight the hype, you know? Do I have some hype? Yeah, of course. Do I love it? But I love a lot of inline product. I'm sure this is going to make me shocking. Like, I don't hate mids. I hate when I see somebody, yo, nah, you can't wear a mid. And you see like these complex videos and these like girls buying like their boys like that. Dude, if it's a nice colorway and if it's a nice shoe, I'm going to rock it. I don't give a shit. I love Air Force Ones. I love you want to know the shoe I have the most of? White on white Air Force Ones. I have around like 30, 40 pairs of them. Some are filthy dirty, some are brand new, because it's even limited for us because it's allocated. So I only get a certain amount and I will like, you know what I mean? Or I've bought them from places, So I love a white on white Air Force One. It's classic. And this day and age with StockX and GOAT and all of these resale shops, like you're not flossing on anybody anymore, whatever you're going to wear, because 10 years ago, it would be like, how did you get that? Bro, we all know how you got it. You paid $3,000 for it. It's simple. You know what I mean? So to me, that doesn't look cool. So that's just my opinion, not shitting on anybody's, reason for rocking. I just feel like I'm not expressing myself wearing a Travis Scott one, because you just know that I got it on GOAT or StockX or from my boy or from a sneaker boutique. So I try to be original and wear something that I like, that goes with my outfit and my personality.
Dig that. And then I think Tim's gonna pull this up.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this. We were talking about this in our group chat the other day.
Okay.
One of the homies in CSX on Facebook posted this pair of the Louis Vuitton Air Force collab for 38,000 USD.
Ridiculous.
I was just curious, and Tim, if you want to go to the next one, it shows all 8 of the friends and family pairs.
Yeah, I saw this.
I guess my question for you is, what's the most that you've spent on a pair of shoes, or what would you be, I guess, willing to
Okay,
spend on a certain pair?
you ready for this? I've never bought a pair of shoe for over resale or over retail. I've never bought a sale. I never bought a shoe for resale in my life. I want to.
I want to.
I want the
We can help you
know
out.
He wants to support the culture.
Like I have the LeBron 10, which I'm sure is going to get retro next year, so I'm sure I'll be able to cop it. But the LeBron 10 like lifestyle, I don't know if you guys know about that. They had like the jean. Remember the LeBron cork?
Yes.
We had it. We released it. I asked Nike if they could, send me a pair or somebody to hook me up. I couldn't get a pair. I want the LeBron cork so badly. I'm like, I don't even care. I have the $600 to pay for it. I just can't bring myself to pay. Dude, it's a shoe. It's a shoe. And I know that this might come like as a surprise to somebody who owns a sneaker boutique, or maybe that's why, because I have a sneaker boutique. I don't know. But I just feel like I'm not paying $700 for a shoe that I know somebody paid $250 for. I'm just not doing it.
No, totally fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm gonna throw it back to you, brother.
Well, if I get 38K, I'm gonna put a down payment on a house.
It's very smart.
I want to ask you about a lot of things, but you've mentioned the modeling and the multiple revenue streams. Let's get a little advice here. Trent, you're young, you're successful, you're really inspiring. You make me feel like, what am I doing? This guy's found more hours in the day or something. So in the book, How Sneakers Saved My Life, available on Amazon.
Thank you for having that up there, Brett, by the way.
You talk about revenue streams.
Yes.
Even when you were young, it was coming in from multiple sources. So I'm just an average guy. I got a job. I sell some sneakers. What advice do you give to somebody like me? How do I get rich?
Well,
I'm also an international model. Just so
you're funny, dude. So look, Jay-Z, there's a clip. No, not saying that you can't be. I just know that you're making that as a joke.
He said that's cab.
Nathan, that was cruel, Nathan.
You said it.
It's not how it was intended. So there's a clip online that Jay-Z says that Jay-Z speaking. I don't know who he's talking to, but he's like, the key is to find something you're passionate about and excel in that. Everybody feels, and I know this wasn't exactly your question, but everyone's like, how do I get famous? I know it wasn't your question was how to get rich, but everyone's feel like, how do I get famous? How do I get out there? And it's the same question like what you're asking, like, how do I get rich? And I feel if you approach it from that standpoint, then you're always going to be running after it. Second of all, money is not going to give you what you think it's going to give you. And you know that I don't know if you guys got to the second book yet, but it's, I'll do my own shameless plug, How Sneakers Ruined My Life. And it's about, there you go. Thank you, sir. Yes. Yeah. And it's about me and my multiple revenue streams, and then hitting, my stride with Exclusity and take it to a national brand, and being a multi-million-dollar company and brand, and buying a 6-bedroom home, and kind of just feeling a little bit lost, right? Sorry if I'm not answering your question directly, but it's more important to touch on this part than to answer how to get rich.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because I want people to think about that. I want to say I had it all. Yes, I could have had a helicopter. I didn't have a private jet or whatever, but I had what I dreamt of having as a kid. And I felt lost. I felt like, I didn't feel like this was how I would feel when I attained these things. I was single. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. Neither do I not right now. I don't have kids. I was like, what am I leaving all of this for? So now through the pandemic, and that will be book 3, is like, I'm trying to find, and what I want to try to promote is healthy entrepreneurialism. So it's not about how I can get rich. It's like, how can I become successful? And the answer to that is find something that you're passionate about and excel into that. And while you're on that path, make sure that it's balanced, and make sure that it's purposeful, and make sure that it's healthy, so that you don't run into the roadblocks that you've seen many successful people that have money get into, right? So that's the answer.
Well, thank you for the answer. And it's like, good dad advice. If you find a job you love, you won't work a day in your life. I really want to
Exactly.
question, am I playing or am I working? And that's the rich life. That's how you get rich.
Exactly. 1,000%. But the key should be, how can I be successful?
Right.
The money, because the money is going to come and go no matter what. There's no business that haven't had its ups and downs. Look, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg just lost $30 billion, right? So it's not really the money, because it's always going to be up and down. It's how can I find balance and how can I find success? Because as long as you find success, the money's not going to matter to you. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We got the Tony Robbins podcast this week, boys.
Sorry. It's my
No,
books. Everybody thinks like my books are only about sneakers. It's really the behind the scenes of the sneaker industry and the behind the scenes of business and entrepreneurialism. And it's a scary fucking place.
I'm not even blowing smoke at you either. It's an enjoyable read. Like
Yes.
the
Thank
coming
you.
from nothing and becoming what you've described. That's a story you want to read. Don't miss out on
Thank
this
you.
Sneaker Show
Thank you.
podcast, listeners.
Thank
It's
you.
available on Amazon if you're curious. Tabby, let me throw it back to you, bro. We'll do another round and then we can come back and talk about some of the pairs this week.
Cool.
Okay. Well, Trent, this was the part in the book to me, and it was in the first book, and it was early on even that stuck with me the most. When the school that you and your young man, Victor,
Mm-hmm.
were at, where he was attending, and you were helping and all that good stuff for the
Mm-hmm.
listeners that aren't maybe familiar. When you were there and there was the amendment with the dress code and the long tees, was
Mm-hmm.
that the moment for you that you were like, this is really catching on for Exclusity?
Okay. Truth be told, I only knew about that story when I asked Rashawn to do the forward for the book. I had no
Oh,
idea that the dress code was amended because I was selling so many long tees. But yes, I didn't know that the dress code at the school had been changed because of the impact I was making on in that 3 block radius that I was killing it at. But I knew that I knew that I was changing something, and I think that's what drove me to continue in this space, where, because like you can affect change, and so this was before sneakers, and to see that like nobody had long tees, like Foot Locker didn't have it, no big stores, and I was able to go and take this fashion that was starting in New York and bring it down here, and then just walk around the street and be like, that kid's wearing my t-shirt, that kid's wearing my t-shirt, that color's not available anywhere else. So it was I think you're right. I didn't maybe just realizing it now. I think it was the moment that sparked like that fashion kind of like, I could do something, and I could change something, and I love doing that.
love that.
Yes is the answer to your question.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I always
Cut
want to
and
make
dry.
sure the answer is, because I'm a little long-winded sometimes. I want to make sure I answer your question. Yeah,
Well,
it was a good moment.
it's all relevant, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
it's definitely all applicable. I love that.
Good.
Fredo, you go ahead with what else you got. I'm gonna save mine for last.
I think I'm good for the most part
Word.
for now.
Okay. My question's about collaborations, Trent.
Okay.
In the book, How Sneakers Saved My Life, available on Amazon, Trent
I like
describes
Link in bio. Yeah.
some of the most interesting stories are the connections to Nike. So the Nike reps, the people who believed in you, it's so cool. You've had a Nike account for a minute and they know who you are. There are memos going
Definitely.
around about Trent.
Mm.
Why does Union get a collaboration and not Exclusity? I want a pair of
Mm.
Exclusity ones. I bet you do too. So I've got a couple questions is how big do you got to be? How do you get
Mm.
that collaboration? And if you do, what sneaker are you going to collaborate on?
Whew, it's a loaded question. When you guys get to book 2, you'll see that my my feelings have kind of a little bit changed a little bit towards that. But yes, there was a point that I would have loved to have a collaboration. But you're at part A of your question is, you always got to be undeniable. So I don't like to say we're like, oh well, this person was this or this person was that or whatever. When you're undeniable, somebody will come regardless. I feel personally that we've been undeniable across Canada. There's maybe one or two other stores are as national as we are. Um, so uh, I think it's being in Canada is kind of a little bit kind of like, fighting the fight with one hand tied behind your back.
Yeah.
It's like how Drake was, Drake was always dope, and Canada was never really like feeling him. He went to the US, got with Lil Wayne, got for Trey songs, whatever, and now Canada's like, oh my gosh, Drake's the best thing in the world. The biggest rapper is from Canada, but you weren't claiming him before that. I feel if Exclusity would have been in the US and did, because everything is times 10 in the US, right? So if you have 10 stores here, that means we probably would have had 100 stores in the US, right? Because we're 10 times per capita. So yeah, I think that's what it is. And just a little tidbit, Nike Canada is ran by Nike US. So everything filters through the US, right? So when we're Americans, I feel look at to say, we have 3 collaborations. They're gonna go to where they know, not to where they visited, one time since they've been at Nike for 5 years. It's like, yeah, I remember meeting that guy Trent, but Union or whatever, or Bodega or Amanier, it's like, dude, I've seen James 100 times. I've been to his stores 200 times. Like we know him, So yeah, I think being in Canada is a little bit of fighting the fight with one hand time behind your back.
That's perfectly said. And you love
Thank
the
you.
Air Forces, and you've brought up Drake, and I've just got this ready to go if we wanted to look at it.
Okay.
That is not happening anymore.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And was this enough of a change to get you excited about a pair of sneakers? Would you pay resell for this just because it has the little hearts on the
Never,
bottom?
never, not doing it. No, I mean, and I heard people online saying like, yo, it's just because Certified Lover Boy is past and gone. That's why they don't want to put it out, whatever, blah, blah. It is probably just a production issue. But yeah, I don't think I still would have paid resale for it. Would I've loved to have them? Of course, but I wouldn't have paid resale for them.
So maybe it's not a Nike sneaker. Is there a silhouette that would be right for Exclusity?
So, oh yeah, this was part C to your question. I was actually, when Gentry came down for the discount opening, I was speaking to him and I was like, yo, if you had to do a shoe, what would your shoe be? And I would say it's the Foamposite. As you guys know, in book 1, chapter 4, yeah. I identify 2012 as the biggest year in sneakers. And I'm sure that's probably the year that got everybody who's watching this show into sneakers. To me, it's the most relevant year. And the Galaxy Foamposite was the sneaker that took Exclusity from being a local boutique to a national boutique. So we were in talks of like doing something with a Foamposite and coming up to Canada and whatever, but it never came out. So I was close to having it. But again, like I said, he was up here for a weekend. We got close, whatever. Then he goes back to the US and then he gets busy with a bunch of Americans, right? So it never happened. But if I were ever to have it, it would be on a Foamposite because for me, it's the most important shoe. And it's a shoe I helped bring into the country when a lot of other stores didn't want to bring it in. That doesn't sound cool now because Foamposites aren't cool. But back in the day when Foamposites were crazy and everybody was wanting them, that was big.
People died over those Galaxy foams.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the year. It was like 9 months before that. Well, if you read the book, I was like, you guys need to bring in foams. You guys need to bring in foams. And they were like, there's a store that said, we can't sell a $300 shoe, a major store that they have like referee outfits. Yeah. They were like, yo, we don't know what Trent's talking about. Nobody in Canada would wear that. Then I was like, bring it in. Lo and behold, the Foamposite that they bring in is the Galaxy Foamposite. So I look like a genius.
Oh, the story is wild. And
it
makes your heart beat because like even you got people at the store and you didn't even have the actual shoes. It's a big moment.
You guys got it. If you really want to know a moment in history, that was really cool. I feel like that's like one of my favorite chapters in the book of like, so yes, it was like a couple hours. I don't want to give it away. You got to read the book, but we announced that we had it. We had people from New York. We had the news agencies. We had the Gazette, and everybody came up. And I actually didn't have the shoe in our hand because there's a problem at Nike delivering me the shoe. Read chapter 4. It's amazing.
Yeah, it make you sweaty like watching Uncut Gems.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough. Yeah. Yo, Trent, this has been illuminating and a lot of
Mm,
fun. We're
thank you.
just going to take a quick break and we'll come back and
Okay.
we'll do what we normally do, look at some shoes and share how we feel.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Thanks, man. All right. This is part two of Sneaker Show. We still have Trent with us, and we're just going to look at a couple of pairs like we normally do. Some stuff that's been announced, some stuff that's coming out very soon. We're excited about the Union Dunks. We're excited about the CPFM, I think it's a dunk, and of course the Union 2s. Was it the Union 2s? The Mensiere 2s.
Mensiere twos.
We got some 2s. It's a crazy
Mm.
year. Now, we were just
We got a lot
talking,
of twos coming.
it's wild.
Yeah.
And Cortez. There's going to be a couple of Cortez this year. I've never
Hmm.
bought the Forrest Gump shoes before, but maybe that's going to happen. In part one, we just ended on some foam posits, Trent's favorite shoe all time. What were you going to ask about, Nathan?
Well, Trent, I want your take on that CDG foam posit, because to be completely honest, I'm not a huge foam posit guy. I have had a
Mm.
pair, and I thought they were cool, and that's what made me not a foam posit guy, because I wore them, and I was like, these are worse than my work boots. I can't, I can't. I mean, the nice part is you can't really mess them up, right? Like
Exactly.
that shoe is day
Yeah.
100, day one, it looks the same. But I want your
Yeah.
take on the CDG foam posit and what your thoughts on that are, because I really like that one with you being a foam posit guy.
So I'm a fan of them. I think they're super dope. Both colors, the black and white colors. And like my favorite, I think my favorite foam is probably like the Versace foam.
Yeah.
That's super dope. But yeah, I like them. But if you're asking if I would pay that kind of money for them, no.
I know
You know?
that at this
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um,
point.
but yeah, I think they're dope.
Good.
Yeah, we've seen some people do like some dye jobs on the white ones that made them that light
Mhm.
blue.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay.
My love for foam posits kind of comes and goes. Like I haven't worn a foam posit in like 2 or 3 years. Like you said, it's like, what I mean? It's definitely a winter shoe. You need a jean with it. It's tough. But again, it's really more for sentimental reasons. But you'll be surprised, man. You put that on a pair of jeans and with the red colorway, like the army foams are always a go. Super dope.
They're hot. You're gonna
Yeah.
have a sweaty foot,
Yeah,
Same
for
with
sure, for
fours, I
sure,
feel.
for
All right,
sure.
let's talk about a pair. I didn't know what was underneath there. These joints right here. Oh, keep going back. There we go.
The unions.
Yes, please. Tell me more.
Yes, sir. So these are the Union Dunks. The first
Mm.
installment of this, they are calling it the Passport Pack from Union, comes out this weekend as an exclusive only to them. However, these dunks come in an array of colors with a ripstop nylon mesh material over top of them. You can cut to reveal what they are calling premium leather. Midnight Navy Pistachio is the first colorway, the mentioned Union exclusive as well. There is also a Laker colorway and a blue and red colorway I'm absolutely in love with. So when I get your guys' take here, I want you to tell me which one you're gonna. Our game here, a variation, but we call it rock, paper, skippers.
Okay.
Rock, you're wearing them, paper, you're selling them, skippers, well, they're out the door. So of these three, when you give us our take, your take, I should say, let me know. Trent, I think it's only right we throw it straight to you. The floor is
Thank
yours.
you. Can I skip all three?
Whoa!
Yo,
Hot
I think
take.
I think somebody has somebody has the dunks there, the Chinatown market in the background there. I remember seeing on somebody your screen is really small right now, but do you remember the ones that had the tongue in the bag that had the bag and the tongue?
Oh,
Yeah,
Tim.
you have it
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have it right back there.
Right
Yeah,
here.
City
Those
Market.
are fresh.
City
What's
markets.
flea market? City
City
market. Forgot
market.
the
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
I think that those are fresh, and I think the Union. No, I mean, shout out. I love the guys at Union. I'm not really a fan of it. But those to me are like of what these were.
Whoa,
So
thank you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have those too. I think they're dope.
So in the tongue, it's
Yeah,
got
the
like
bags
the
in there.
right,
Yeah,
but it's all soft and it's like it didn't feel
love
right.
it.
You like it? I
I
got
love it.
skinny little girl feet. I put memory
Okay.
foam inside of here because it's
Oh
got the
wow,
zipper.
really?
I took it out
Okay,
of a pillow and I filled it up so it's like a big fat tongue, like an SB shoe now.
that's smart.
I
That's
guess
smart.
maybe
Okay,
if you
I
got
like
skinny
it.
girl feet.
Yeah. But maybe the one, if I had to take one, the one in the middle, like that, the baby blue.
Yes. Yeah,
But we're getting a lot of baby blue. Like we had a lot last year and a lot that's coming this year. So I don't know. I'm skipping them all. And I'm a big Lakers fan of Kobe, but I'm skipping them all.
Wow.
That is a hot, unexpected take.
Yes.
Let me
Yes,
just
yes.
go back here. You see what's going on? They'll look different once you cut all of that off.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say I want the original colorway, the first one, the one that they're most excited about. This one right here, the one that I thought there was only one when it started, and it was this one. So I want to wear that. I'd like to sell whatever's most expensive, and I can skip the other one. It feels like maybe the Lakers one would go for the most, and then this navy pair would be the skipper for me. Fredo?
I'm like kind of same boat as you. I think the Lakers pair is kind of ass. I think they could have done a lot better. But yeah, that blue pair in the middle is definitely the one for me that I'd be throwing on the toe.
Well, good luck hitting on these joints.
Right.
It felt like people are happy about what Union did when they had their first fours release, that it felt fair and that they had just a simple skill testing question that stopped a lot of bots. Is it that easy, Trent? You mentioned that if there was better bot protection, you'd use it. How did Union do so well with that release?
I have no idea. Like,
Can they all
but
be like that?
I still heard of some people shitting on them though. It wasn't like they got 100% pass, you know. And like I said, there are some out there, and we do have some that I can't tell you guys about because they'll be like, oh, they have that, so we're gonna use that, like the counter bot protection. All I'm saying is that there's no 100% foolproof way. But yeah, there's some tricks of the trade. Did you guys like the Union Forest?
All the way through, yes.
Okay, I thought they were dope too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Even the tongue.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a pair recently and I absolutely unstitched the tongue. To me, that's
That's
what
what I was
makes...
gonna ask.
Yes.
Okay, so you opened it up. Okay.
Well, yeah, they were mine. I'm gonna wear them. I'm not trying to sell these,
Facts.
right? So, yeah, and to me, that's the whole part of the four is that big tongue with the jump man
Yeah,
on
exactly.
it. Yeah.
I thought they killed those. They did a super good job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's next?
What's next? Why are these even called a dunk?
Oh yeah, I saw these.
This is a wild one.
Yeah.
This is the CPFM, and they do call it a dunk. It's made of suede. It looks like you maybe stepped in a swamp. It looks like moss is growing off the bottom of it. They are mismatched completely. Only one side has swooshes. The other side, no swoosh and a yin-yang symbol instead. There are different sock liners. It comes with 2 sets of these crazy thick laces. I can't decide if I love them or hate them. I keep going back and forth. Maybe if there was the swoosh on both. Fellas, how do you feel about these dunks?
Am I going first again? So I'm the guest.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Trent all day.
I love when they mismatch shoes. Love it. I have been known to actually mismatch my own shoes. I've worn 4s and 5s. I love fat laces. I'm a fan. I will. Sorry, I don't remember, but not skipping. I'm not selling. I'm buying. What's the 3 things again? Skip.
Rock. You're gonna rock.
Rock. I'm rocking it. I'm rocking these. I'm rocking them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm rocking them. They're dope.
Well, for me, I like these. I would love them if they both had the swoosh on the side. That's the only part I don't really like here. It's odd that it's that and not the muddy bottom that bothers me so much. It's a cool concept. I can't wait to see the packaging. These are probably the paper for me. I'm gonna flip these. I don't need these in my collection, I don't think.
I think for me, that midsole is like a major vibe killer. I don't know. I'm not super into them. I think the box that it's going to come with is going to be crazy, but that's got to be paper for me. I'm definitely flipping these.
You sure don't buy shoes for the box.
You can't wear the box.
You know what I always say though, just as something I've kind of learned over the years, it's that it's hard to tell if you're gonna rock a shoe from a computer and a picture, because the midsole and designers are super smart. They're not designing it for you to look at the midsole like this and be whatever. So I always like to see how the shoe is going to look on, or think how it's going to look on, and you're looking at my midsole from 10 feet away. And that's why I think the shoe is going to look good. So I never like up close pictures.
The best is when you have an initial reaction and then somebody wears it right and it changes your opinion. I
Like,
love
damn,
that.
I need those now.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's happened quite a few times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? We got one more pair. It's the year of the twos, guys. We went from I don't care that there's a two to I need all the twos. Shay, I think these are the sickest ones we've ever seen. Tell me about them, bruh.
Yeah, we're looking at a Jordan 2 in a sail black and burgundy crush colorway. You guys can kind of tell it's got that similar look to the Jordan 1 that Mensiere did. It's got a premium textured leather base with a quilted sock liner atop a snakeskin like textured midsole. They have some Mensiere branding on the heel along with a burgundy hang tag. As far as I know, all of the, I don't know if you'd call it GR, these definitely won't be GR, but all of the pairs will have a special box. They are set to release April 29th on the Mensiere website for a retail of $225 USD. And they are also, I believe, releasing on sneakers either that same day or a few days after. But yeah, Trent, what do you think of these?
I'm rocking them just because James and I came up together. James is my boy. We argue and fight a lot, but he's my brother, so I'm definitely rocking. I would like to say though, you said that these were the best twos you've ever seen. I would Google Dawn C twos.
Oh yeah.
We had those. Those were
The Arctic orange pair.
fire. Woo! Like that. Those were crazy. Like crazy. So yeah, but James and his team did his thing. These are dope. They're not the threes, but they're dope.
The threes and the ones are like home runs. So
Yeah, for sure.
makes sense that maybe there's a four coming from them, and I don't know, it's early to guess, but would that be the greatest shoe ever made? Fours
Did you
could
guys
be
think
hotter.
do you guys think the three was the shoe of the year?
Yeah, 100%.
Hot take, no.
Okay.
No, just never going to be a three for me. It's beautiful. I appreciate it. But there were better shoes last year.
Yeah, that's my take on it. Like realistically, I had a pair. I had full intentions of keeping it. Beautiful, lots of great details, everything like that. Definitely, just because it wasn't number one doesn't mean I wouldn't put it at number two. But at the end of the day, for me, it was a white and gray three. The details were nice, but the shoe, at face value is a white and gray three, and that doesn't quite do it for me. With those Pata Air Maxes, the Para Dunks, all the other crazy stuff that came out last year, I think there was just a lot more eye-catching things for me that did it.
Understood.
Well, boys, that's pretty much what we wanted to do today, is just talk about some sneakers. We don't have goals other than get to know our homie Trent better and promote the book, How Sneakers Saved My Life. It's available now on Amazon. Trent.
Yes.
Where can we find you online? Where should we direct people?
So you can follow me on my Instagram at Trent Out Loud. Of course, you want to follow the shop if you would like at Exclusity. And if you'd like to reach out to me for any interviews or appearances or whatever, you can contact my publicist at Valise at CandiceNicolePR.com.
She's good people.
Right?
Yeah, she's dope, right?
Yeah.
She texts me, she's like, yo, how's it going? I'm like, yo, I like these guys. They're cool.
Oh, great.
She's checking up on us. Like a mom.
Sounds good. Yes. Auntie Val.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, my gram is Tim Stone Show. The other boys are Young Tabasco and 403 Fredo. If you want to see some sick unboxings and fit grids, we're getting on that. Our IG page is Sneaker Show Podcast. YouTube is where you can watch. We got the link in the description. Don't miss out on this book or the next books coming from author Trent here.
Yes.
This has been a trip.
Thank you.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time. Thank you.
I have just one question for you guys before the end. When you guys, well, not a question, but a favor, because you guys are so into the sneaker industry, when you find the time to read book 2, it's really about my life, but it's also really about the back end business of the industry that you love. I talk about Adidas, Nike, and how they deal with sneaker boutiques and how it affects. We kind of touched it a lot about it in the beginning of the show, but if you guys like to have me back on when you read that, I would like to talk about it, because I feel like a lot of people get caught up in like those 3 shoes. What's happening this year? And we're not, and that's what I kind of wanted to write about this book, just to kind of like pull the curtains back and look behind the industry and see what's happening. So if you guys ever want to have me back on, talk about more about that, I'd love to come on.
Do we ever?
I can confirm right now that we would love to have you back on.
Yeah, I'll speak for everybody here when I say yeah.
Thank you.
So funny. Everyone's eyes had 100 logo in it.
Yeah.
200%, yes.
Yes. All
I've
right,
never
man.
been more sure of something in my life.
I appreciate you coming on. For
Yeah,
those of you that know me, you know I fucking hate reading. This is I'm not just gassing my boy up, but this book was fire.
Thank you, brother.
Available on Amazon.
Yes. Yeah, if that was not clear enough to anybody, you can find this book on Amazon, and it is there, and it will come to your house. Shout out Jeff Bezos. He'll get that thing to you.
Jeff.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks
a lot
for
having
kicking
me,
it with
guys.
us.
Thank
We're
you.
out.
All right, take care.